The term two-spirit used in many Native American cultures refers to a third gender role that's not easily categorized by the modern mainstream understanding of sexuality. It does not exactly equate to being gay or lesbian as understood in current Western terms. Two-spirit individuals are those who embody both masculine and feminine spirits, or you could say traits and roles within themselves. This is not merely about whom they choose as their partners, but also involves their behaviours, roles and status within their communities. This means they may engage in activities or fulfil roles typically assigned to both men and women, blurring the rigid gender norms prevalent in many societies. Tracing back to the pre-colonial era, many tribes held these individuals in high regard, assigning them crucial roles such as healers, warriors and mediators. French explorers in the 1700s documented their presence across many tribes, revealing a cultural acceptance far more widespread than what's generally believed. However, this concept varies greatly among the different Native American cultures. Not all tribes have or recognize this role, and the specific interpretations can differ widely. Therefore, labeling them simply as gay or lesbian can oversimplify or even misrepresent their cultural identities and roles. The notion of two-spirit challenges the conventional binary perspective of gender and sexuality, which may make it seem like a nasty secret to those who hold tightly to these simplistic categories, perhaps because it disrupts the simplistic binary notions of gender and sexuality that mainstream society clings to. When we look more closely at Native American sexual customs, we find something else that's surprising. They were really open about sex. In Native American cultures, people didn't whisper or hide talks about sex. They talked about it openly and celebrated it as a normal part of life. This openness was seen in all parts of their lives, like in their stories and ceremonies, which often had strong sex symbols. Stories were an important way for them to share their culture and rules, and many stories had lessons about sex. In some tribes, like the Lakota in the 1800s, coming-of-age ceremonies had clear teachings about sex, telling young people what to expect when they got married. Ceremonies also played a big role in recognizing and celebrating sex. For example, the Apache tribe's sunrise ceremony, for girls becoming women, had sex symbols, showing the community accepted the girl was now grown up and able to have sex. In the Hopi tradition, the butterfly dance, a traditional social dance, is performed annually in late summer, and it includes many sexual symbols and teachings. This ceremony, which is open to the public, is meant to bring happiness and prosperity. The butterfly is seen as a symbol of transformation and fertility, associated with the beauty and vitality of youth, and its symbolic connection to the reproductive health is evident. Young women perform the dance with their intricate butterfly hairstyles and clothing, signifying their readiness for marriage and motherhood. While many cultures around the world treat virginity like a treasure to be safeguarded until marriage, many Native American tribes took quite a different approach. In these tribes, sex before marriage wasn't just accepted, but seen as a crucial step towards becoming an adult. They encountered young people to explore their sexual wants and limits. Take the Sioux tribe in the 1800s, for example. They had a custom called Wagamani, where young couples got to find out how sexually compatible they were before marriage. This way of thinking might shock societies that strongly believe sex should only happen after marriage. The idea that young people could freely experiment with sex is far from traditional values in many cultures. Our understanding of Native American sexual customs wouldn't be complete without discussing their unique mating ceremonies. Native American sexual ceremony was the Anaquanda. Although this ritual might come across as strange and even unsettling to many, it was a key part of their culture. This ceremony is best explained by Brother Gabriel Sagard, a Recollect friar who stayed with the Wendat in the early 17th century, who according to him witnessed a healing ceremony that also served as a sexual rite. At the request of a sick woman or the direction of the Oki or shaman, all the young women of the tribe would gather at the sick woman's home. Each of these women would then name a young man they wished to sleep with that night. The selected men would then spend the night with the woman who chose them, in full view of the sick woman. Throughout the night, chiefs at both ends of the lodge would sing and rattle their tortoise shells until morning. This was their way of healing the sick woman. In the Andekwanda ceremony, the sick man would select 12 girls and one more for himself to mate with. His request would be promptly fulfilled, often through the generous contributions of others who were present. The names of the chosen girls and men would be announced at the feast, followed by the celebration of the entire community. The sick man then expresses gratitude, declaring his health restored by this ceremony. These rituals might seem scandalous, shocking, or even immoral to societies that guard virginity and shun premarital sex, yet for the Native Americans, these were important cultural practices. In the 1800s, there were tribes where men had multiple wives, and the women often had a lot of power in these marriages. Sometimes a man could marry several sisters. This was called sororal polygamy. The oldest sister usually had the most power. The reason for these marriages wasn't just about wanting many wives, it helped make families stronger. Older wives would help take care of the children, making it easier to raise them. This was really important, especially in places where life was tough and survival wasn't guaranteed. Now imagine a community where mom man is seen as a father figure for many people, the one-dad culture. This was common among Native American tribes, while it might sound even more odd and disturbing to people from other cultures. History tells us that Native American tribes used different plants as birth control. For example, the Shoshone tribe in the late 1700s used a root named squaw root or women's root to avoid pregnancy. In the same way, the Potawatomi tribe used the pennyroyal plant because it could cause miscarriages. People today are shocked to find out that old societies knew a lot about personal topics like birth control and sexual health, and that the idea of using nature for birth control might seem doubtful to some because we depend so much on modern science. The natives did have certain rules when it came to sex that, if broken, led to tough consequences. Different sexual behaviours were seen as wrong, and these varied a lot from tribe to tribe because of their unique cultural beliefs. For example, in the Crow tribe in the early 1800s, cheating in marriage was a serious wrong, often leading to being cut off from the society and strict punishments for the person who cheated. The Cheyenne tribe, on the other hand, had a strong rule against family members having sex with each other, with punishments ranging from being kicked out of the tribe to death. These rules and their punishments were often linked to the tribe's religious and spiritual beliefs. For example, the Iroquois tribe believed that it was wrong to have sex when a woman was on her period, as they saw this time as a holy period of cleaning. Breaking this rule was thought to bring bad luck or illness, serving as a spiritual warning. Native American dating customs often involve complex dances, gift exchanges, and special signs, which are quite different from what we're used to. The courtship rituals of the Zuni tribe of New Mexico provide an interesting example. Known for their art, agriculture, and detailed cosmology, the Zuni also had specific practices around courtship and dating that involved symbolic gestures of seduction. One of the key rituals involved in Zuni courtship was the Saleko ceremony, held in late fall or early winter. This event serves as an opportunity for young men and women to showcase their eligibility and attract potential partners. During the Saleko ceremony, young women prepare and serve food to the community, demonstrating their culinary skills, a desirable trait for potential brides. Young men, on the other hand, participate in dances representing spiritual beings, displaying their strength, agility, and spiritual connection. That's all for today's video. Don't forget to share, give us a like, and subscribe to our channel for more intriguing content. We look forward to seeing you soon in our next video.